Barcelona once again make life for themselves difficult in the UCL second leg quarterfinal. This has been the story now for 10 seasons going, but this time they make it to the semifinal. And listen, this was an absolutely shocking performance of Barcelona, possibly the worst of the season, and it was unbelievable how close Dortmund got. And there's no two ways about it. This was just bad. And there's a lot of talking points about this game. Of course, the main talking point from everybody on social media is Barca's in the semifinal for the first time in 6 years. But no, there's far too many things to discuss that are not positive. And here we go. Firstly, this was the lineup. Chesney, of course. Gerard Martin for Balde. Kubarsi, Araujo, Koundé. Gavi, De Jong. Rafinha, Fermin, Yamal, and Lewandowski. So the rotations are Inigo Martinez out for Araujo because Inigo was on one yellow away from suspension for the semifinal. So there was no reason to risk that, and I think now yellow cards are cleared up starting the semifinal. So that's actually a good thing about this game. And then Pedri, of course, was benched to get him some rest for Gavi. Now look, let's start player by player. Chesney. Other than the penalty he gave up, he was monstrous. Ter Stegen in this game eats up 6 goals. 6 goals. Chesney was absolutely monstrous, and he kept the team in this game when he needed to. 8 saves, 1.31 xG prevented, and 2 high claims, 6 saves from inside the box, so he was very good. Gerard Martin looked one of Barca's better passers today under pressure. He looked decent in some moments. He was getting absolutely fried in some moments, and of course, that was most certain when Duranville came in for Dortmund. At that point, Gerard Martin, not only was he tired, but that coupled with his sheer lack of physicality, his sheer lack of pace, just absolutely fried him towards the end of the game. Overall, nothing much you can say. I mean, he's here to cover for Balde. It's a big loss, but it is what it is. Kubarsi, 6.4 rating for some reason. I don't want to see the rating for this player. He was absolutely monstrous today, especially at the end of that game. He was the only one covering for half of the defenders, half the midfielders. He was absolutely insane. He actually gets an 8.0 from me today. Very good Kubarsi, and he was one of the better passers as well. Araujo. I don't know why this is the case with him in UCL knockout games. In 2023, he was insane. But when it's time for high pressure, high intensity games, yes, it's because of his lack of ability on the ball. And this is what alienates him a bit from Barca's system, especially with Hansi Flick, where they build up quickly. But it's not even just about that. Defensively, he gives up so many chances. And you look at the third goal that Guirassy scored. That was all his fault. He cleared the ball to Guirassy for the tap-in. It's almost the same exact thing that he did for Dembele last season in the first leg against PSG. And he just struggles in these big games. Yes, he has 6 clearances, but he had an error leading to a shot and an error leading to a goal. And that he just fails in this pressure, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what happened to him. If anything is good about him, it's purely his defensive ability and his physicality and his pace. I don't know why he struggles and makes these mistakes, but this is why Inigo has started this season, and it's going to be important for Inigo to be fit and be there against Inter or Bayern. Koundé, very poor. I mean, he had some decent blocks here and there. He made a very good pass for the goal, to be fair, but defensively, not the best. It lost the ball too many times in the build-up. But overall, not the worst player on the pitch. Gavi, in that first half, especially one of Barca's best players. He was everywhere. He was very good in the build-up. He was actually trying to drive the ball up a little bit because he was one of the more active players in the midfield. De Jong, listen, for moments of this game, De Jong was truly taking the piss, but in some moments he also did well. He did very well with recovering the ball a lot. He won a lot of ground duels, as we can see here, but listen, there were some moments where he was just taking the piss, lost the ball, gave away the ball too many times for chances, and he's got to be quicker when deciding what to do with the ball. Rafinha taking the piss today. I mean, he had chances to have either 2 or 3 goals or 2 or 3 assists, and he was just bad. He had acres of space to capitalize on. He didn't. He had shots that he should have scored. He didn't. But I mean, just bad from Rafinha today. Very poor from Rafinha. And to be locked up by a 2025 version of a 500 kilogram Nicolas Sule is just not good enough. Next, Fermin Lopez. So his rating is high here because he got a lot. He was actually a bit involved, and he won a lot of ground duels. Of course, he was the one that led to the goal, but the chances he had to score, especially that one ball where he was literally in front of the net and the ball ended up in Bayern Stadium. The ball went from Dortmund to Munich. I don't know how you don't score that chance. That's a chance that you have to score in the UCL knockout stage, especially away, especially in the second leg. You must score that. And listen, other than the own goal that came from his cross, he didn't really do much. It was just more of a chance that he should have scored. And yeah, I mean, it was whatever, to be honest. Lamine Yamal, another player today who was absolutely taking the piss. He tried some long balls, he tried some dribbles, nothing really came off from him. He lost the ball far too many times in comparison to the amount of touches he had, and didn't really create anything. Had a decent dribble one or two times against Ben Sebaini. Had a decent shot that got deflected away in the second half, but overall, very poor performance. Don't want to talk about that anymore. He needs to be better versus Madrid in the Copa del Rey final, and he needs to be better against Dortmund or Inter. Lewandowski, I thought to be fair, he had a pretty decent game today. He was good in the build-up. He created a very good chance for Rafinha that he soiled absolutely. There was a chance that he completely messed up, to be honest, where he should have passed to Lamine Yamal on the right, but he had to pass to Firmino on the left because his touch was just so bad. And this is textbook with Lewandowski, but overall, nothing unbelievably bad from him. Nothing too involved though, but it is what it is. On the bench, Pedri came in. Nothing crazy impactful, but he was still there, and he definitely improved the team a little bit. Eric Garcia, I mean, nothing great. Ferran Torres, nothing great. Dani Olmo came on, and to be honest, considering he was injured for 3 weeks, he did well for whatever he had to do. He made a decent block at the end, and that was Barca's team. On Dortmund's side, they look much better. Listen, this Dortmund team looked much better today than they have all season, and that's, yes, you have to give them credit. That's also partially because Barcelona were so poor in every sector, defensively, in the build-up in the midfield, in the transition defending in the midfield, and just attacking-wise, Barca was so poor, and that's why that was enabled to amplify Dortmund's play overall. But of course, Adeyemi this week, after disappointing me last week, Adeyemi impressed me a lot this week. Guirassy, of course, was very good today with the hat trick. Nothing insane from him performance-wise, but he managed to get the 3 goals. Pascal Gross was good, but Duranville was good as well when he came on. But overall, Dortmund got very close and way too close for my liking. And just like last week, they had far too many chances. Barcelona have not done well defending transitions, especially against this Dortmund side across both legs, but they need to do better. And I'm very happy about these quotes here. The players agree with what I'm saying. Here's what Koundé said. I'm disappointed with how he played today. To be honest, we missed everything we did well in the first leg. We knew it would be a tough game. We weren't up for the task. And then he said we made mistakes. We overlooked things. Overall, we had a bad game. At halftime, Flick told us that we had to improve, and he's disappointed because he knows the team can do better. Yes, that's the mentality I want, not just be happy that you're in the semifinal. Kubarsi, we have to be happy because it's a long time since we've been in the semifinal. Long time, as in he never even experienced it. I haven't seen the tie in danger. We need to do some real self-criticism. We didn't play the way we wanted. Yes, correct. Much better. It needs to be much better, especially against what I'm assuming is going to be Inter Milan, who are very well set up. Maybe they don't play the most entertaining football. Maybe they play a brand of football that I'm completely against, but it doesn't matter. They have to win. Barcelona. Frankie de Jong, we didn't play very well tonight. He'll leave it at that. We're happy to be in the semifinals, but we also know he can play much better. Yes, absolutely correct. And there's no two ways about it. Overall, yes, the moral of the story is that Barcelona are as a club and as a fan base are happy to be in the semifinal for the first time in a long time. That's where Barcelona as a club belongs, considering their performances overall this season and in the UCL. But today, it was very bad. If there was anything good to come out of this performance today from Barcelona, is that if Barca were to lose a game this season, I mean, in this year, because they were undefeated up until this point with 24 games undefeated Barcelona, I think it was like 20 wins or 21 wins and 4 or 3 draws. And that was very good. And if at some point Barca needed to lose to be given a reality check, it was much more needed to happen now rather than in Madrid in the league or in the Copa del Rey final, rather than in the semifinal of the Champions League, any of the legs, or in the final. So if a loss was needed at some point, it is much better that it happened now rather than later. And yeah, So, listen, Barcelona should have done better. Overall, these games, I guess, happen sometimes. You have to suffer in the Champions League. But I guess that was a suffering for them. They suffered in the first leg against Benfica. They suffered in this game today, and that's it. No more suffering this season. Please dominate all the games you guys play now and finish the season strong. There's no reason to throw this away because what they've done this season is absolutely unbelievable, and nobody expected it. So yeah, big games coming up now. This week is going to be some La Liga games on the weekend, and then next week, midweek, is going to be another La Liga game, and then next weekend is going to be the Copa del Rey final. So big build up for these games and reviews. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video.